December 20th, 1943, the sky over Bremen, Germany. Second Lieutenant Charles "Chuck" Georger turns his P-51 Mustang hard left as bullets fly where his cockpit was just moments ago. He's 19 years old. This is his 8th fight mission. His hands shake so much he can barely hold the stick. The Messerschmitt Bf-109 on his tail is flown by Unreicher Ludwig Franciscet, a pilot with 11 confirmed kills. Franciscet has been hunting Allied pilots for 2 years. He knows every move in the book and is already aiming for the killing shot. Standard rules are clear. Stay in formation, attack together, never leave your wingman. The Army Air Forces spent millions making these rules. Fighter groups practice them all the time. Survival depends on following the rules and discipline. Georger's fuel gauge is going down. His bullets left are only 60. The closest friendly plane is 3 meters away. By every calculation, he should be dead in 30 seconds. What Franciscet does not know is Georger is about to do something that breaks every rule in the fighter pilot handbook. Something so wild, so strange and reckless that senior officers will say it is impossible when he reports it. Something that will, by accident, change air fighting for the next 80 years. But first, we need to understand why American pilots were dying so much at catastrophic rates in the winter of 1943. By December 1943, the United States Army Air Forces faces a big problem that threatens the whole bombing plan over Europe. The numbers are terrible. In August 1943, during the Schweinfurt-Regensburg raids, the 8th Air Force loses 60 bombers in one day. 600 men are killed or captured. In October, another raid on Schweinfurt cost 62 more bombers. The loss rate is more than 20% on long, deep missions. At this rate, bomber crews have almost no chance to finish their required 25-mission tour. The main problem is range. P-47 Thunderbolts and P-38 Lightnings can escort bombers to the German border, but they do not have enough fuel to go deep into Germany. Once the escorts turn back, German Luftwaffe fighters attack the bomber groups like wolves on hurt prey. The solution seems easy. Make long-range escort fighters. North American Aviation built the P-51 Mustang, which can go to Berlin and back. But there is a second, sneaky problem. American fighter rules are wrong. The tactics manual made by senior officers who learned to fly in the 1920s focuses on flying in formation and attacking together. Fighter pilots are told to keep exact positions, follow maneuvers from the book, and never break formation. Doing your own thing is discouraged. The manual is treated like gospel. German pilots fight American planes in a totally different way. Luftwaffe rules made from years of fighting in Spain, Poland, France, and Russia focus on being aggressive and using your own judgment. German aces like Adolf Galland and Günter Rahl use the finger four formation and energy fighting tactics that give them big advantages. The kill numbers show the truth. In late 1943, experienced Luftwaffe pilots are getting 3 to 4 kills for every American plane they lose. Some aces like Egon Mayer and Walter Noetny have kill ratios more than 10 to 1. American fighter commanders know something is wrong. After-battle reports always show American pilots being outmaneuvered, even though they fly planes that are just as good or better. But they cannot find the solution. More training and formation flying does not help. Neither does following the manual exactly. The senior officers agree. American pilots need better planes, more flight hours, and stricter rules. The tactics are fine. The problem must be how they are used. This idea is about to be broken by a teenager from Hamlin, West Virginia, who barely finished high school. Charles Elwood Georger is not supposed to be here. He grows up in the Appalachian foothills during the Great Depression. His family is poor. His father works in coal mines and natural gas fields. Chuck hunts squirrels and rabbits to get food on the table, which gives him very good eyesight and hand-eye coordination. He can see a squirrel in a tree from 300 yards. He joins the Army Air Forces in September 1941 as a plane mechanic. He has no college, no rich family, no flying experience. He is assigned to maintain P-39 Airacobras at Tonopah, Nevada. In July 1942, the Air Forces have a big pilot shortage. The training cannot make pilots fast enough to replace lost ones. The service starts the Flying Sergeant program, letting enlisted men train as pilots without officer rank. Georgia signs up immediately. His bosses doubt him. His education is low, but his mechanical skills are excellent. Flying needs fast decisions and spatial thinking. Most people like him fail. He proves them wrong. At flight school in California and Arizona, Georgia shows natural flying talent that the instructors are amazed by. His flying skill is amazing. His vision is 20/10, which is twice as good as normal. He can see a squirrel in a tree from 300 yards. He joins the Army Air Forces in September 1941 as a plane mechanic. He has no college, no rich family, no flying experience. He is assigned to maintain P-39 Airacobras at Tonopah, Nevada. In July 1942, the Air Forces have a big pilot shortage. The training cannot make pilots fast enough to replace lost ones. The service starts the Flying Sergeant program, letting enlisted men train as pilots without officer rank. Georgia signs up immediately. His bosses doubt him. His education is low, but his mechanical skills are excellent. Flying needs fast decisions and spatial thinking. Most people like him fail. He proves them wrong. At flight school in California and Arizona, Georgia shows natural flying talent that the instructors are amazed by. His flying skill is amazing. His vision is 20/10, which is twice as good as normal. He can see a squirrel in a tree from 300 yards. He joins the Army Air Forces in September 1941 as a plane mechanic. He has no college, no rich family, no flying experience. He is assigned to maintain P-39 Airacobras at Tonopah, Nevada. In July 1942, the Air Forces have a big pilot shortage. The training cannot make pilots fast enough to replace lost ones. The service starts the Flying Sergeant program, letting enlisted men train as pilots without officer rank. Georgia signs up immediately. His bosses doubt him. His education is low, but his mechanical skills are excellent. Flying needs fast decisions and spatial thinking. Most people like him fail. He proves them wrong. At flight school in California and Arizona, Georgia shows natural flying talent that the instructors are amazed by. His flying skill is amazing. His vision is 20/10, which is twice as good as normal. He can see a squirrel in a tree from 300 yards. He joins the Army Air Forces in September 1941 as a plane mechanic. He has no college, no rich family, no flying experience. He is assigned to maintain P-39 Airacobras at Tonopah, Nevada. In July 1942, the Air Forces have a big pilot shortage. The training cannot make pilots fast enough to replace lost ones. The service starts the Flying Sergeant program, letting enlisted men train as pilots without officer rank. Georgia signs up immediately. His bosses doubt him. His education is low, but his mechanical skills are excellent. Flying needs fast decisions and spatial thinking. Most people like him fail. He proves them wrong. At flight school in California and Arizona, Georgia shows natural flying talent that the instructors are amazed by. His flying skill is amazing. His vision is 20/10, which is twice as good as normal. He can see a squirrel in a tree from 300 yards. He joins the Army Air Forces in September 1941 as a plane mechanic. He has no college, no rich family, no flying experience. He is assigned to maintain P-39 Airacobras at Tonopah, Nevada. In July 1942, the Air Forces have a big pilot shortage. The training cannot make pilots fast enough to replace lost ones. The service starts the Flying Sergeant program, letting enlisted men train as pilots without officer rank. Georgia signs up immediately. His bosses doubt him. His education is low, but his mechanical skills are excellent. Flying needs fast decisions and spatial thinking. Most people like him fail. He proves them wrong. At flight school in California and Arizona, Georgia shows natural flying talent that the instructors are amazed by. His flying skill is amazing. His vision is 20/10, which is twice as good as normal.
He can see a squirrel in a tree from 300 yards. He joins the Army Air Forces in September 1941 as a plane mechanic. He has no college, no rich family, no flying experience. He is assigned to maintain P-39 Airacobras at Tonopah, Nevada. In July 1942, the Air Forces have a big pilot shortage. The training cannot make pilots fast enough to replace lost ones. The service starts the Flying Sergeant program, letting enlisted men train as pilots without officer rank. Georgia signs up immediately. His bosses doubt him. His education is low, but his mechanical skills are excellent. Flying needs fast decisions and spatial thinking. Most people like him fail. He proves them wrong. At flight school in California and Arizona, Georgia shows natural flying talent that the instructors are amazed by. His flying skill is amazing.
Colonel Hubert Zena, commander of the 56th Fighter Group. We cannot leave coordinated attacks for one pilot to be a hero. That gets pilots killed. Your data is wrong, says another colonel. German fighters have fuel injection. We have carburetors. Physics does not lie. The meeting almost ends with Blakeslee's report being ignored. The bureaucracy is very strong. Changing rules means admitting old rules were wrong. Careers depend on the old system. Then Major General William Kempner, commander of E-8 Fighter Command, steps in. Kempner is a maverick. He learned to fly in 1916. He flew in World War I. He has watched too many young pilots die following rules that do not work. He is ready to challenge old ideas if the proof is there. Gentlemen, Kempner says, I don't care if this breaks everything we learned at tactical school. I care about kill ratios. Captain Blakeslee's group has the best success in the theater. If his pilots survive by breaking the rules, then maybe our rules are wrong. Kempner orders tests right away. Over the next 2 weeks, test pilots take P-51Bs through very fast dives. The data proves Blakeslee was right. At speeds over 450 miles per hour, the Mustang in a dive goes faster than the Bf-109 and FW-190. On February 3, 1944, Kempner issues a new groundbreaking order. Fighter pilots can now use their own judgment and aggressive moves, including fast diving attacks. Formation rules are less important. Pilots are told to take advantage of the Mustang's high-speed power. The old officers are shocked, but Kempner has the power and he uses it. Before we see how this changes the air war, I need to explain this channel's mission. We tell stories of new ideas and courage that changed history. Stories that textbooks often miss. If you like careful research and documentary quality content, please hit that subscribe button. 92% of viewers watch without subscribing, but your subscription helps pay for the hours of research these episodes take. Thank you. The new tactics are tested right away. On February 20, 1944, the 8th Air Force starts Big Week, a huge campaign to destroy German plane factories. Over 1,000 bombers hit deep targets in Germany. They are escorted by P-51 Mustangs flying with Kempner's new rules. March 3, 1944, the sky over Berlin. Joger now has 12 kills. He leads 4 Mustangs at 28,000 feet. Below, 300 B-17 bombers approach the German capital. Luftwaffe fighters rise to intercept. Bf-109s and FW-190s from JG-3 and JG-11, some of Germany's best units. Overlet Heinz Baer, an ace with 17 kills, leads 4 Bf-109s. He sees Joger's flight and climbs to attack, planning to dive on the bombers from above. Joger sees them first. His amazing eyesight gives him 30 seconds warning. Instead of staying in formation and following the normal defense, he does something that would have been forbidden 3 months ago. He rolls upside down and dives, not away from the Germans, but toward them, gaining huge speed. His wingman, Lieutenant Clarence Bud Anderson, follows right away. The other 2 Mustangs stay high. Baer sees the Americans diving and thinks they are running. He changes his approach toward the bombers. This is exactly what Joger wants. At 600 miles per hour, a speed that makes the controls feel almost stuck, Yeoger pulls up under Bear's formation. The Bf-109s are going 380 miles per hour, focused on the bombers. They never see the Mustangs coming from below. Yeoger fires a 2-second burst at the last 109. The German plane explodes. Bear turns hard left, but Anderson is already firing. Bear's wingman goes down smoking. The other two 109s dive away. Yeoger and Anderson do not chase. They climb back to height, using their huge speed to get above the bombers. The fight lasts only 45 seconds. 2 German planes destroyed, no Americans lost. The bombers keep going to their target. This pattern happens again and again. American pilots using the new rules are getting kill ratios that were impossible before. The Luftwaffe used to fight against predictable American formations. Now they face aggressive pilots, attacking from angles they do not expect. The numbers tell the truth. In January 1944, before the new rules, the average kill ratio for a fighter command against the Luftwaffe was 2.1 to 1. By April 1944, after the new energy fighting tactics, the ratio goes up to 4.3 to 1. By June, it reaches 6.1 to 1. German pilots notice fast. Oberleutnant Johannes Steinhoff, a veteran ace, writes in his diary, "The American fighters have changed. They do not fly in stiff formations. They dive from impossible heights at frightening speeds. Our fuel-injected engines that once gave us an advantage do not matter anymore. The Germans are faster now." General Major Adolf Galland, the commander of Germany's fighter forces, reports to Hermann Göring in April 1944. "The American Mustang pilots have learned our energy fighting tactics and made them even better. Their planes at high speed are faster than ours. We're losing too many experienced pilots too quickly." The bomber crews notice too. Their survival improves a lot. Lieutenant James Howard, a B-17 pilot, writes home, "The fighter pilots are different now. They do more than escort. They hunt. The Germans are scared of them." On May 8, 1944, Yeoger faces his hardest opponent, Hetman Georg Peter Ehrer, an ace with 36 kills, flying a Bf-109 G-10, the newest model with better performance. The fight happens at 24,000 feet over Brunswick. Ehrer has height advantage and dives to attack. Yeoger turns into him, forcing a head-on pass. Both pilots fire. Both miss. Ehrer expects Yeoger to climb to get more height. Instead, Yeoger rolls and dives, almost straight down to gain speed. Ehrer follows, confident in his dive. At 550 miles per hour, a speed that makes the controls feel almost stuck, Yeoger pulls up under Bear's formation. Ehrer tries to follow, but the G-forces are too strong. His vision goes gray. His pull-up is weak. When he recovers, Yeoger is behind him at 400 yards. Yeoger fires. Ehrer's Bf-109 takes hits in engine and wing. Smoke pours from the plane. Ehrer manages to get back to his airfield, but the plane is written off. After the war, Ehrer writes, "The American pilot who hit my plane on May 8, 1944, did moves I thought were impossible. He dived away from me and somehow ended up behind me. Our intelligence said this could not happen. We were wrong." By June 1944, the Luftwaffe is in crisis. Experienced pilots are being killed faster than they can be replaced. Training programs are shortened and produce pilots who are not ready and die on their first missions. The 8th Air Force gains control of the skies over Germany, but the cost in human life is real. Bomber losses dropped from 20% in October 1933 to less than 4% by June 1944. Thousands of air crews survive missions they would have died on using the old tactics. After the war, a B-17 pilot named Robert Morgan finds Yeoger at an air show. Morgan flew 30 missions over Germany in 1944. He tells Yeoger, "My crew figured we should have been shot down on our 8th mission using 1943 loss rates.
We flew 22 more after that. Because of you and pilots like you, we came home. My children exist because you learned how to keep us alive. The impact goes beyond World War II. The energy fighting tactics that Yeager discovered and commanders like Blakesley used become the base for modern fighter rules today. If you want to support this channel's deep research into forgotten military inventions, please click the like button and think about joining our Patreon. Your support makes these episodes possible. Charles Yeager ends World War II with 11.5 confirmed kills. He is shot down once and escapes capture in occupied France with help from the resistance and returns to flying. He flies 64 missions in total. After the war, he becomes a test pilot. On October 14, 1947, he breaks the sound barrier in the Bell X-1, becoming the first person to fly faster than sound. The techniques he learned in combat, energy management, high-speed control, and aggressive moves are very important for supersonic flight. He retires as a brigadier general in 1975. He never says he invented energy fighting tactics. In his autobiography, he writes, "I was just trying not to die. If that helped other pilots survive, I am grateful. But I didn't figure anything out. I just reacted." The tactics he accidentally started are still taught today. Every fighter pilot in the United States Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps learns energy fighting rules in their first weeks of training. The idea of trading height for speed, using very fast moves to get a better position, and using the plane's power at very high speeds, these are basic for modern air.
The lesson goes beyond flying. Innovation often comes from unexpected people. The teenager from West Virginia with little schooling saw something experienced officers missed. The system almost ignored his discovery because it went against the old rules. How many other inventions were lost because they came from the wrong person or went against old ideas? How many lives could have been saved if organizations recognized the truth, no matter who found it? Yeager dies on December 7, 2020, at age 97. His obituary in the New York Times calls him the most famous test pilot of his generation. It talks about breaking the sound barrier. It talks about his combat record. But it does not say he accidentally changed air combat by doing what everyone said was impossible. Sometimes the best inventions come not from careful planning, but from quick thinking in danger. Not from experts following old rules, but from outsiders who do not know what is supposed to be impossible. Charles Yeager did not try to change military rules. He just wanted to survive his 8th mission. That he did it by breaking every rule and saved thousands of lives makes his story amazing. The next time someone says something is impossible because it breaks the rules, remember the 19-year-old from West Virginia who was too inexperienced to know he could not do it. Sometimes not knowing the rules is exactly what lets you succeed.